Hello everyone, my name is Saurav Singh, student of a lovely professional university. So I'm working on a Dbms project, which is real life based problem and faced by every employees in their lifetime, and that is exhausting salary before the next salary day arrives. Keeping this problem in mind, we made a company that is called early salary, which basically provides the few percentage of their next month's paycheck before the salary day arrives. And our company is able to do this because they are directly associated with the employee's company. This model is very simple. If employees apply for a early paycheck, we deduct that amount from the employee's next month's salary at minimum interest. Here diagram here diagram, entity relation diagram is a type of flowchart that illustrates how entities such as a people, object, or concept relate to each other within a system. Now let's talk about the some important constants of a ER diagram. The first one is entity. In DBMS, entity is a piece of data that is stored in the data set. An entity can be person, place, thing, or an event. Okay. Now the second one is the relationship. In DBMS, the relationship is the way in which two or more data set are linked, and the third one is a primary key. It is a column of a table or a set of columns that helps to identify every record present in the data set. Oh, sorry, in that table uniquely. Foreign key. It is a field that establishes and maintains link between two separate tables. And let's talk about last constant, that is attribute. It represents the characteristics or the properties of entities or objects stored in the dataset. There are many types of attributes: multi-valued, composite, derived, and simple. So now, guys, we are making a structure of, or we can say, a mind map for our chart diagram. So let's start with their entities and the attributes. Okay. First entity will be our employees company. Okay. And their attribute will be, we can say, a company ID, that is primary key. Okay. And the second attribute will be company name, obviously, company name. And the third attribute will be number of employees working. This is multi-valued attribute, employee working. And the and fourth attribute will be address. And this is also multi-valued attribute. Okay. And now let's come on our second entity, that is employee. Okay. And their attribute will be employee ID first, and this is primary key. And the second attribute will be employee name. Okay. And the third attribute will be, we can say that, job title of employee. Okay. Job title of employee. And the fourth attribute will be the salary he is withdrawing. Okay. He or she is withdrawing. He and she withdrawing. Okay. And the fifth attribute will be address. And this is a multi-valued attribute. Okay. These are the five necessary attributes for employee and four necessary attributes for employee's company. Let's come on our third attribute, sorry, third entity, that is early salary company. Okay. Early salary company. We will not add much attribute in this, as we are making a weak entity of this company, which is handling a query of employee. Okay. Early company. So we will add attribute like ID of early salary. Okay. Early salary. The second attribute, number of clients. Okay. Or ID of early salary is primary key. Okay. And the third attribute, we can say that address, and this is a multi-valued attribute. As you know, there is a more than one attribute here. So this is a multi-valued attribute. Okay. These are the three attributes for early company. Now let's come on the weak entity of early company. Okay. We can say a sub-department of this, that is loan. We will make a relation between that. There is a loan department, early company. Okay. Loan. We can add We can add loan ID here, as this is necessary for the ID loan they are taking, or we can say early pay check the employees is withdrawing. This is the first attribute, and the second one is a loan interest or a paycheck interest, early paycheck interest. Okay, okay. The amount that is withdrawn, and the third attribute is amount is withdrawn by employee. Okay, this will be our third attribute. Okay, these are the three attributes that we require for loan entity. Okay, there is a relationship between early company and a loan, and that relation we call a loan department of a early company. Okay, and one more relationship between early company and employees, that employee is working in employee company. Okay, these are four entities right now we are needed. Okay, now third, coming on the fourth entity, that is not important, but yeah, we need that because as wait, I will show you here. And this entity we call a bank. Why we are adding this entity? Because mm, mm, early company need a fund, and that is given by a bank, or we can say some financer. So we are calling this entity as a bank. Okay, okay. Now let's add attribute for this. That is bank ID. That is will be our primary key, and the second attribute will be our bank name. Okay, and third attribute will be address. That is multi-valued. Okay, we will do more in our ER diagram when we are making it. And the fourth attribute we can say is funds they are giving. Funds they are giving to, we can say, giving to early company. Okay. Now let's talk about the relationships. Okay. The bank will we have a relationship with early company, and employee has a relationship with early employees company, and a loan department of a, we can say, early company, because employee will employee will apply for early paycheck from the in the loan department of a early company, and the amount in the next month salary, or next month salary whenever come for the employer, that will be deducted directly from the employees companies. Okay, and now let's move on for on a early ER diagram of a uh, ER diagram of what we are saying, making man. Yeah. So let's start with our ER diagram. So we will first make an entity of employee company. Okay, employee company, and then make an attribute of that. So let's start with their attributes. Okay. So first attribute will be company ID. Okay. Let's make company company ID. Mm, This is our first attribute. And then our second attribute will be company name. Company name. Okay, so this will be your company name. Okay, this attribute is our company name. This attribute is our company name. Let's make a third attribute. Third attribute. Mm, this attribute will be number of employees. Okay, number of employee. Okay, and let's make another attribute. That is multi-valued attribute. Oh, sorry, multi-valued attribute. Multi-valued attribute. address. Okay. And this is if this is a multi-valued, so we need to add a two circles here. Okay. Okay. And on primary key we use a underline here in circle. So here is a circle. Sorry, underline. Sorry. Okay. This is our first entity. Okay. We need it. Okay. Now we are making a third entity, that is employee. Okay. Employee and a relationship. We need to add a relationship. Okay. Here between employee and employer's company. Um, relation works in. Okay. We use a rectangular to make a relationship between two entities. Okay. Now let's make a attributes for employee. Okay. First attribute will be our employee ID. Employee ID. This is our first attribute, and primary. This is a primary key. So there is a line under that. This is our primary key or one attribute that is called employee ID. Let's make a second attribute that will be employee name. Second attribute. Let's make a third attribute that will be a job title of employee. Second attribute, third attribute, sorry. Okay. Let's make a fourth attribute that is address, or we can say that is a multi-valued attribute, because there will be there is use of one and more attributes in that. Like we can say there is a use of one and more attribute like pin code, house number, zip code, and many more things. So we will making our fourth attribute that is address. And um, as you know, on multiple attribute we use two circles in that on that. So there's one more circle, or we can say double circle we use for multi-valued attribute. This is our two entities, and the relation between is employee company and employer. And the relation between is works in that employee is working in the company or employer. Okay. Let's make up our third entity, that is early salary. This early salary company. Okay. We will add only two attributes here. Okay. First attribute will be our ID, ID of early salary. Okay. The second attribute will be multi-valued attribute, that is address. Okay. For multi-valued, we use a two circles here, so we are putting it here. Okay. This is address. These are the necessary attributes for early salary company. We are making a weak entity, or we can say a loan department of early salary, where employee can apply for the early paychecks. So for relationship, we use a triangular triangular box. So here it will be. For weak entity, we use two triangular boxes. So we are using it. Wait a second, I will show you how we use it. The first one, and the second one will be like that. Here loan department, relationship between. Wait a second. Let me complete it. Oh, okay. So we are making an entity, one more entity here, that is we call a loan. Okay. Loan. Here will be our necessary attributes like loan ID. Okay. Loan ID. And this will be our primary key. Okay. Loan ID. Okay. Loan ID. Second attribute will be in loan interest. Okay. Oh, I forgot that in primary key we use a underline here. So I am putting it here on both the entities, early salary and a loan. Okay. This is a this is a these are both two primary keys. Let's make a third one. Oh, and that is loan interest. Okay. Second attribute. Okay. And the third attribute will be amount that is withdrawn by employee. Okay. This is a very necessary attribute as we should know how much how much pay early paycheck that employees withdrawing from the company. Okay. Amount withdrawn by we will wait. I will making it. Yeah. These are the three necessary attributes for the loans. Now time to make a relationship. There will be two relationship. Okay, here is one with between employee company and early salary. That relationship we call associated with company because on the platform employee companies is with our company early salary, so that employee can be apply from on our app. Okay, so let's make a relationship between them. Wait a second. There is a relation between employer company and early salary. That early salary and employer company, they are both associated with each other on the same platform. That is our app, early salary. Okay. Now there will be a relation between employer and a loan because employer will be applying for the early paychecks on our in our loan department on the app. So there will be one more relationship between them. That is, wait, I will tell you. First, I will let me draw it. These are the four entities and the relation between them. So you can see that in first employee company there will be a company ID that will be our primary key and the company name and number of employees working and address that is multi-valued. Okay, and the employee, the relation between employee company and employee is that employee works in company. Okay, so the attributes are for employer, employee ID, employee name, and job title. And here employee ID will be our primary key. In the third entity, early salary, this early salary is associated with employee company, and their department is loan department, in which employees applying for a loan or we can say that early paycheck. So our last entity will be bank. Okay. Why we are adding it here? Because early salary is getting funded by bank. Okay. Uh, So first we will add a bank entity here. Okay. And let me add their attribute. First attribute will be a bank ID. Okay. Whenever you are making any entity, there will be a ID for their or a unique ID there. Okay. Bank ID and that will be our primary key because whenever we enter the unique ID or primary key we will get all the details regarding the that particular entity. Okay, and let me add a second entity, sorry, second attribute, that is bank name. Bank name. Okay, and the third attribute will be our funds they are providing to the early salary. We are needed this because at least we should know how much funds we are giving to the early salary. These are the four attributes we need. And let me add one more attribute, that is address, because in bank there will be address. Okay. Hmm. An address will is our multi-valued attribute. So there will be a two circles here. Let me add one more circle here. Okay. So let me create a relationship between bank and early salary. So, so here it is a relationship between our bank and early salary. This is our final year diagram for our company early salary. That is basically providing a early paychecks to the employees that are having a money crunches. Okay, or we can say that they are exhausted all their monies before the next salary day. So this is our year diagram for that. I will explain you more in our in PPT that I make for you. Okay, for now this is our final year diagram. Okay, thank you so much.